we're actually getting a lot of Type 0 characters. I actually just sat down and realized this. Like, we're getting more, too, in the future. And already, I believe Type 0 has the most characters from a Final Fantasy franchise in the game. Like, right now we have Deuce, I'm awful with names. Deuce, King, Rem, Cater. We now have Machina, Sync, and some other guys. And we're gonna be getting 8 soon. And there's another Type 0 character coming out in the future on JP. There's Jack. It's like, oh my god, it's a lot of Type 0 characters. But anyway, we have Machina's release, along with his, obviously his level 70, his EX plus, and whatnot, and Rem's level 70 Awakening, Rework, and EX plus. So let's just get this out of the way. The one of these two who are just not worth it, and that's gonna be Machina. So let me explain. In no way, shape, or form is Machina a bad character. Machina's kit actually revolves around longevity. His Awakening changes his HP attack to HP attack plus, and his Awakening actually doesn't take up a turn count. The HP attack plus changes to an attack called Furious Blades, and when any of his skills are used that breaks a target or attacks a target that is already broken, Furious Blades changes to his plus variant where it doesn't take up a turn, which is really nice, and that helps out a ton. The thing with Machina, though, is everything that he brings to the table really isn't all that impressive. Even in his EX plus, even in his EX, he has a counter mechanic that he gets for, I believe it's 3 turns, I'm sorry. And the way the counter mechanic works is if he gets hit with a Brave attack, he counters it with a 2-hit Brave attack. Which sounds good on paper, but if he's hit by an all attack, or if any attack follows up with any HP damage, he doesn't counter. So it's very unreliable. And his EX is good. It gives him that buff. It does a good amount of damage. His EX plus is kind of just the standard fare. Increases attack potencies, more hits, things like that. That's why it's really not much anything worth specific to mention in his EX plus, because it's just kind of the standard stuff that we've been seeing. A lot of the basic early Chaos characters coming out, just getting, more increases to the hits, the damage potencies, and things like that. So that's kind of just the gist of Machina. And a second skill, it just hits. It just hits hard. So he pretty much, Machina is a dime a dozen melee damage dealer. But the reason why I'm actually so uninterested and kind of just, I don't want to say disappointed. I'm more just not interested at all, is because the thing with Machina is, while what he brings to the table sounds good on paper, in practice it's really not great. Sure, he has good longevity, and that's pretty much what his kit is built around, but the fact is that he's really not doing the damage to warrant the longevity in the first place. And that's kind of my issue, is like, while yes, he's good and he can hit relatively hard, we already have melee damage dealers who kind of just do the job better, and they offer more to the party in many ways. Cloud, for example, offers a launch mechanic with 4 guaranteed paralysis, with a 35% chance paralysis on a cross slash regardless, so he has control, he has good damage, he hits hard, and he has still one of the harder hitting EXs of the early Chaos era. Garland brings really high hitting numbers on almost all of his attacks. One of the harder hitting EXs as well. You can depending on how you have Garland set up, you can usually cap it over 100,000 damage with him. And he has a delay mechanic that's very reliable and pretty easy to get off, especially if you bring him with the right party. Even Zell offers a very potent defense down debuff that helps assist the party while doing damage that ignores defense in the first place. And he actually hits kind of hard, I guess. Yeah. God, I wish that was better. Anyway, like, what Machina brings to the table, he doesn't offer really anything to the party or anything to inflict to the enemy. And all he's really bringing is a counter that's pretty unreliable. And in the terms of counters, he's going to get power crept into fucking no tomorrow when 8 and Gao Gao come out relatively soon, and they're on the way. So the thing with Machina is, when characters release, I know there are certain characters that come out that are very hard to power creep. Ultimately, she is one. She will eventually be power crept, but it takes a while. But my mindset is the characters that release going forward should always try to step up from the last. And the thing with Machina is, I don't really feel like he's doing that. Again, it sounds good on paper, but we have characters that can do what he does in better forms and better means. Hell, even Agrius. Agrius is considered a melee character, and she offers support to the party. Just about almost every stat increase that you can think of to the team, with incredible magic control and paralysis control, with 2 guaranteed paralysis that can inflict on every enemy she attacks. Yeah, the thing with Machina is he's not doing anything impressive, and while he's a good character in its own rights, he's not power creeping anyone, and he's going to get power. He's already power crept, is basically what I'm trying to say. Now, I don't want this to come off as I am harping on him, because like I said, he's not a bad character by any means. Everyone in the Chaos Era has their uses and can be used just. And, as long as you support Machina relatively well, you make sure you bring him along some good supports to keep his brave and everything up, so, you can cap on the damage that he needs. He'll do the job for you. He will get the job done. He will do the damage and everything. So if you are a fan of Machina, he is one of your favorites, and you do want to pull for him, by all means, go ahead. Is he an easy skip? If not, yes, honestly, he's not really that important for the Chaos Era. I know, how is he for the Chaos Era? That's my usual line, but we're just going to jump right into it. He's not that important for the Chaos Era. He's pretty much one of the easier passes of the Chaos Era, and he doesn't really shine all that much until he gets his LD when he returns in his Lost Chapters for pretty much almost a full year from now. So, while he'll do the job, don't expect him to be lasting too long into the Chaos Era, and don't expect him to be better than the melee damage dealers that we have now, because he's not, unfortunately. Now, the real prize of this banner is this magical little girl right here, Rem. With her level 70 rework, she actually just gets some very much needed things. Rem was actually a pretty strong support character. She really didn't need much in the first place. She got a buff change to her cure, which kind of just compacts it into one buff and offers a good a good amount of auras and stuff to the party. Her second skill no longer takes up a turn count, which is really, really nice. Not taking up a turn count is really, really nice, because this way you can use it and you're not wasting a turn swapping to the other person. It increases it got some potency increases and everything. Her aura's just got some good buff ups, and her EX plus is actually pretty good. It gives the standard fare, some stat increases and things like that. But what it really does, what really shines when you get it to 3 out of 3, which it should be done, which you should get it to 3 out of 3. It will give a brave heal off before the hits, and then follow up with the health regen and the brave and stuff. So you're capitalizing on even more brave that she offers to the party. So she's more of a sufficient battery for the team. So the thing with Rem is as good as the rest of the team, because she's constantly swapping to other teammates, and so they can do the damage for her. So it's kind of funny, given what I just said about the man, but characters that have really good longevity, like Machina or Noctis when he came out, really shine with Rem, characters that have really good longevity, because if you're just spamming Rem in the first place, your other characters are going to get burnt out long before she does. So you just have to make sure you're using her properly. She's not a go in and just click buttons. You have to know what you're doing with her. Is she important for the Chaos Era? we get a bunch. We're going to be getting a bunch of support characters. And in her own way, I feel like Rem is good. I feel like Rem is good in her own way because she offers turn manipulation to the party like no other character in the game can. And as long as you're using her properly and you aren't, you know, not doing things right, pretty much, Rem will help you out in situations that really matter. And you say the enemy hits really high levels of Brave and your strap returns and they're coming up soon, you can just swap to another character that can shave that down. If you really need to get everyone's Brave up to avoid taking more unnecessary breaks, you can swap to the character that can do that. Rem is as good as her party, and that's the thing with her. So make sure that you're bringing along a good two characters that work good enough for the event, and she'll shine. That's where she will shine. So, is Rem important for the Chaos Era? I'm gonna say not die hard important. Like, she's not a character you should really just drop everything to pick up, but she's important in her own way. Especially with a lot of the FEOD content that we're gonna be, Dimensions End content that we're going to be getting on Global and things like that, and certain bosses, she can help out a ton and really make your party better, pretty much. Like that's pretty much, you know, what she does as a support. She's trying to make you better, and she does it in a good and interesting way. So while not one of the more die-hard characters, you should spend every single gem and ticket that you have to make sure you get her. But if you have her built, or if you want to aim for her specifically off this banner, it's perfectly understandable, because Rem is a very good character and she's important in her own way. Back to Machina real quick. If you do choose to build him up, definitely go 3 out of 3 with the man. Unfortunately, he is a heavy investment because he just needs everything that his EX Plus offers to really just, you know, make sure he's capitalizing on damage. A lot of damage dealers are like that. You want to make sure you 3 out of 3 them, because you want to make sure you get them as far as you can. There are some exceptions. I would say Garland was an exception. Zell can be an exception to that as well. But most of the time, you really want to get them 3 out of 3 to make sure you're capitalizing on damage. But yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Just a recap: Machina, no important, easy pass. Don't touch this banner unless you're going for Rem. If you're going for Rem, then I will give you the okay to go into this banner. But if you are a fan of Machina, then listen, go ahead, give it a pull. He'll do the job for you. Just understand that you need to help him out a ton. But yeah, Machina not so much. Rem important in her own way. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll muster up some power to do some chaos runs this weekend. Like I said in my last video, I do apologize for the lack of chaos content and certain videos. I've just been in pretty much just a slump, and I've been a little lazy myself, dealing with some personal matters and everything like that. But like I said in my last one, I will get there, and we will get back on track relatively soon. I still plan on doing the Dimensions End video, talking about team comps and everything that can help and whatnot, as I know some people are still struggling, and that's okay. But yeah, we will return to proper form hopefully soon, but thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for watching, as always, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.